Hello YouTube, it's Final once again, bringing you another healing guide. This time it's a new healing guide that I've been trying out, which is complete AOE heal over time healing, so no single target heals or anything like that. And I'm going to go over it in detail with you, what I've done, what gear I'm wearing, what rotations I'm doing, and everything like that. So hopefully this will help. We were trying this in M10 Genesis with the nature damage with pools. And it seemed to work brilliantly with the AOE healing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over it, give you some tips and tricks. Hopefully this will help you out and something that you can try in your healing. So what we'll do first is I'll go through my skills on life staff and I'll go through them and tell you what ones I'm picking. So what we're going to start with is on the left hand side with the healing tree, we're going to go with Absolved, where the life staff light and heavy attacks no longer consume mana, because you will be spamming your light attack to refresh your sacred ground. Also with this, we're going to get Blissful Touch, which gives you a heal for 16% of the weapon damage that passes through allies. Again, because you're going to be spamming your light attack, this is going to be a major important perk. Obviously, we're going to go down the sacred ground route all the way down to the bottom. I won't go through them. Hopefully you know these by now, but I won't go through them. We'll go through the off perks. Desperate Speed, when you heal an ally below 50% health life, staff ability cooldowns are reduced by 10%. Like I said, the reducing of your abilities is the most important part of this build. Then we're going to go for Revitalize. When you hit a light attack, reduce life staff abilities by cooldowns by 5%. Then we're going to go for Sacred Protection. While holding a life staff, increase the amount of incoming heals. It just gives you a 5% increase of heal. And also we'll go Intensify. When you hit with a heavy attack, you get a stacking bonus of 10%. So you can heavy attack 3 times and you'll get a 30% healing bonus. Obviously for bosses, you want to keep this up as much as possible. During the smaller fights like little mobs and stuff, this isn't so important because you're going to need to keep that sacred ground up on your DPS. Over on the protection tree, we're going to take Aura Protection and Beacon. So that is your full AOE abilities. You're not going to be single target healing. You're going to be spamming these and making sure that these are up at all times. So what we're going to do is going to go down fully on the Aura Protection. So we're going to take Protector's Blessing. We're going to take Shared Protection. And we're going to take Aegis. What we are going to do is take Bend of Light, which is when you dodge, your heals are 20% more effective. So obviously this is a 5-second cooldown. Every 4 seconds you want to dodge, you get 20% more effective heals. And we take Protective Strength, which if you have a buff, heal for 20% more. And most of the time in this build, you're going to have a buff. And the last perk off of main perks is Glowing Focus. Your life staff buffs you grant last 20% longer. So obviously with the one before, it's going to help you increase your healing. With Beacon, we're only going to go down 3 levels on the Beacon. So we're going to take the first Beacon. We're going to take Infused Light. And we're going to take Radius Blessing. Beacon lasts 5 seconds longer. What we're not going to take is Speed of Light because it's only haste and it doesn't make any difference to your healing. So that is the build that we're going to go for this AOE healing build in the life staff. It's up to you what else you use and what other weapon. I choose Void Gauntlet with Scream, Blade and Oblivion. But to be fair, you're not really going to be on your offhand because this build really, you need to be light attacking with your life staff and making sure that you're refreshing all of your abilities as much as you can. So next what we'll do is go into the attributes. So in this life staff build with the AOE healing, you need as much healing as possible over time. So it is basically over focus build. If you're doing it with randoms or like a couple of people and a couple of randoms, then I would suggest doing the 400 focus and the 110 constitution build. That's with 40 stam food. If you've got a group that you trust and you're used to, then you can go down to 50 con and go up to 450 focus. Or 60 con, should I say, around that number. But 450 focus you can do if you trust your group. But for a safe bet, I would go with 400 focus, 110 constitution with your buff food. So what we'll do is I'll go over the armor now. So if I go into here, with my armor, everything is basically on focus. So I've got my light headgear, light chest, light gloves, medium leg wear, and light feet. You can go for a medium chest or 2 medium pieces, but this is my best pieces with all of the abilities on. What you want to make sure that you've got is as much refreshing as you can. I've only got a couple of pieces with refreshing. You can go better. Refresh and evasion obviously is a massive one because you're going to be dodging to get your extra increased healing effectiveness. And you want to make sure that you've got your mending protection for your orb, your fortified sacred ground, and obviously vicious beacon is a massive plus here because it increases the critical chance for all of your DPS that you're healing. Down on my amulet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use fortify, so the buff of fortifies lasting 30% longer. So with this build, it lasts around 30 seconds. I've got my 9.7% health and mana recovery. Mana recovery is not the greatest, but it's just something that I've got on here. On my ring, full focus again, hearty sacred, and you can get refreshing or refreshing evasion on here if you want to spend the money. Then last but not least is my earring, which has got refreshing evasion, refreshing, and purified toast. So I've got this on because of the double refreshing. It just helps get that sacred ground refreshed so you can have it down 24/7. And what I'm using is just a corrupted Bane Void Gauntlet, depending on what dungeon it is, and Will of the Ancients. Okay, so during the patch, obviously having an ability on your weapon is increased, but on this one, refreshing move and refreshing is a massive, massive must for this build. It's going to make sure that your sacred ground is refreshed and ready to use every time you need it. So underneath the DPS in the tank, you're always going to have a sacred ground, which is really, really, really important. What we're going to do now is just a quick show of what exactly I'll be doing or you can do during. So obviously you want to dodge because you want to make sure that you've got this buff up at all time, which is your healing is increased by 20%. This is important. So every 5 seconds, give it a dodge and it's going to refresh. The rotation that you should be doing, beacon is the longest cooldown. So you want to fire off beacon, you want to get sacred ground down and then fire off your orb. And then you want to carry on hitting. I can't really show you because I've got no mobs, but you want to carry on light attacking into your DPS. And then your refreshes will come up before they cool down. I will show you this with a little clip that I'm going to put on now. So the play style for this build is you want to be just outside the DPS and firing in all of your heals. You don't want to be in there trying to get involved with your Void Gauntlet or anything like that. You want to be away from the DPS and firing it in for them to take all that healing. You don't want to be right in there. You can do if you feel like your damage is going to be too much, but you don't want to take too much damage because you're going to be on light con. But you want to be far enough away to be able to fire it in and get it in and do all your light attack so that you're DPSing and healing at the same time. But for me, I just stand just outside and fire in. Obviously, if I'm in danger, I've got my heals or my potions and everything like that. But you can just step just inside and take the hills as well. It's completely up to you how you want to play, but I like to play just on the outside, away from the mobs to be safe. If you like what you've seen so far on the channel and on this video, please hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. It does help me greatly, and I much appreciate it. And leave comments down in the comment section. Anything that you think that I've missed, anything you think I can add, or anything that you found that might increase this AoE healing and people might need. But thank you very much, and without further ado, I'll end the video there, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.